Hey everybody, it's Big Sister. I'm back and I want to talk to you about self-care. So I have to backtrack to a few months ago. I went into one of my favorite stores that I hadn't been to in a while. It's a craft store called Hobby Lobby. I walk in and I all of a sudden was just completely overwhelmed and felt like I was gonna lose it and start crying right in the middle of the store. I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, why am I responding like this? Why is this happening right now? Like, this is one of my favorite places to be. Why is this happening? I realized that for a long time, like, that store had been a place that I would go to, like, get a cup of coffee, walk around, and just kind of decompress and de-stress and let the world outside kind of fade for a little bit and get in touch with the artistic side of me and just really relax and care for myself. As I started to think about why this was upsetting me, I realized that it had been a really long time since I had done something to really care for myself and nurture different pieces of myself in a way that was really truly effective. It's so easy to do these things that we think are self-care and still feel exhausted afterward and wonder, why am I exhausted? I just did something to take care of myself. I just did something that makes me feel better. I think a big part of that is recognizing that you are a person that's made up of many different parts and that you have to care for each one of those parts on a regular basis. This thing with Hobby Lobby, looking back, that was months ago, and if I'm being honest, I still struggle. I'm still struggling with really managing my own stress. So the purpose of this video is really to just hit pause and refresh myself, and to also encourage you and my friends and my family to also hit pause. Think through what's going on in your life and think through your own self-care and what it really looks like for you right now. Why even do this? Why even take the time to care for yourself? So many people feel that, you know what, I'm okay, I can compartmentalize things and just kind of keep chugging along. But when you don't do something to take care of that stress and work against it, you're gonna find that you become exhausted, that you become more vulnerable, and it will eventually, if you don't take care of it and manage it, destroy your quality of life. Practicing self-care is how you take your power back. You need to be intentional about caring for yourself. Although not all stress reduction practices are active, reducing stress really does take a proactive approach, or at least an approach where you're aware of your feelings and what's going on in your life. Now, if you're anything like me, you heard the word active approach or being intentional, and the thought of having one more thing to take care of just causes even more stress. I feel that, I feel you, but I also have come to the conclusion that I deserve better and that you deserve better. Don't we deserve to live a more rich and fulfilling life? The answer is yes, we do. We do deserve that kind of life. So let's pick ourselves up out of the mud together. I would recommend maybe grabbing like a notebook or a piece of paper just to jot things down as we go along. Again, as I said at the beginning, I'm really hoping that this, if it doesn't give you direct ideas of things you can do, will help spur some thought in the areas of what really is helpful for you. And I want you to be able to write that down so that you know that. If nothing else, grab a piece of paper to jot down the rules for applying to the giveaway that I have for this video. I will talk about the details of it at the end of the video. So grab something to jot down those details on. So where do we start? Number one, know yourself and know your stress. You want to be able to identify the things that stress you out. And that might seem really simple. I'm sure that as I said that, there were a couple that popped into your head right away. Great, that is a great place to start. Once you have that list of things that stress you out, I want you to consider, can you do something about it? Or is it not really possible to do anything about it at this moment in time? If yes, then take small steps to make that happen. Take small steps to end that source of stress, to cut that out of your life. Really, what are you waiting for? If it's something that you can cut out of your life right now and end that source of stress, then go for it. Unfortunately, not everything is that simple. So if the answer to the question is no, then pray for the grace to accept that is going to be hanging around as a source of stress in your life for a little while. Learn enough about yourself to know what you can do to feel better, even in the midst of the stress that you're feeling. I have found that it is absolutely vital in combating stress to get to know and like yourself. It's important for you to be able to understand and accept yourself. That is like the first step of this whole process. Know, love, understand, and accept yourself. Once you get to know yourself, you can create a self-care plan that will cover all of your bases and really leave you feeling as if you have combated your stress in a very effective way. So then the question is, how do I get to know myself? I think most of us think that we know ourselves very, very well, but we also live in a day and age where self-reflection doesn't happen as often as it probably should. And self-reflection is what helps us to grow and, again, helps us to get to know ourselves. When you know yourself better, you can understand better how to combat the stress you're up against. One of my favorite tools when it comes to getting to know yourself is to take a personality or a preference test. There are a lot of them available online. I mean, you can take like the Myers-Briggs preference test online. You could do the Enneagram. You could go to BuzzFeed and find out what Disney character you are. But for real, I highly recommend using something like the Enneagram or Myers-Briggs just as a jumping off point for getting to know yourself. They are by no means something that covers every single base of the personality, but it at least will give you a little bit of insight into yourself and why you function the way that you do. Personally, I found that the Myers-Briggs characterized my personality traits best, but I have friends and family members that really felt that the Enneagram test was what hit it for them and really helped to describe and kind of pinpoint different pieces of self. So I would encourage you to explore both. I'm gonna go into the Myers-Briggs a little bit more. I've taken the test a number of times over the years, and I can think back to times where I took it and I didn't take it as honestly as I probably should have because I wasn't really comfortable with myself, and so I took the test from that kind of perspective of wanting to be somebody else and wanting to act differently. I realized as I took the test wanting to be somebody else or have a different personality, I would receive a Myers-Briggs type that did not fit me and just left me feeling really lonely and confused. So this past time I took the test and I answered it in a brutally honest way, and what I got was the best description of my personality that I have ever received in my life. I discovered I'm an INFJ. My jaw was on the floor when I finished reading the description of my type because I just felt understood. And if you're an INFJ or you've ever read about the INFJ type, that is a huge deal for someone with this Myers-Briggs type to feel just really understood and kind of seen. A great place that you can go online to take that test is 16personalities.com. This offers a version of the Myers-Briggs. You may have taken other more extensive versions before, or just like really short versions. 16 Personalities did not sponsor this video. I'm just putting that out there as a resource because I find that it's a great version of the test. And I really love the way that they characterize the personality afterwards so you can fully understand yourself. Another place that I would recommend starting if you want to get to know yourself is to jump into counseling. I've had videos in the past where I kind of dip into this a little bit, but I highly value counseling. My background is in counseling, and I've been through counseling myself for various things over the years, and I cannot speak more highly of it. I think it's important to find a counselor that you connect with very well. It's okay to kind of switch around if you find that you're not really matching up with the first counselor that you sit down with. But counseling has helped me unearth things about myself and be able to grow to accept those things about myself more as time goes on. And it's given me a chance to develop in the areas that I wanted to develop in. I've had a handful of really great counselors over the years that helped me get there and helped me understand and accept myself better. One of the things that I've used in counseling that I picked up from therapists that I had seen in the past that I absolutely love when it comes to getting to know yourself and getting to like yourself is exploring the idea that we are multifaceted beings and recognizing and understanding and caring for each of those facets. It helps us feel whole, it helps us feel healthy, and it helps us to feel less stressed when we recognize every piece of like that pie, I would say, of what makes us up as a whole person. The best illustration that I think that there is of this would be something called the wellness wheel. There are different ideas of generally what makes up the wellness wheel, but for the most part, there are a certain number of pieces to the wheel that therapists and other mental health professionals would agree are the central tenets of what makes up a whole person. It's often depicted as a pie chart. I've seen wheels that have 9 or even more pieces to them, but generally I stick to the 7-piece wheel chart. This consists of the physical self, the emotional self, the social self, the spiritual self, the intellectual self, the occupational self, and the financial self. What is so great about that? If you take the time to understand and care for those pieces of yourself, you will find yourself refreshed. You will find yourself less anxious. You will find that you are better able to combat the stress that you come across presently and in the future. What's next? For a lot of you, this is the first time that you're hearing about the wellness wheel. So I want to take time together to explore and define the 7 pieces that I find kind of best describe the whole self. And then look at different de-stressing and coping skills within each of those spheres. And then finally, I want to explore why practices within each of those spheres actually work. I mean, who wouldn't want to know why something works? I'm very much the type of person that if I don't know why something works, I'm kind of doing it. I'm like, well, I feel better, but why do I feel better? I want to know why I feel better. Especially if something is supposedly good for you. I want to know why it is. It's good to be curious. So let's understand why things work together. I'm going to give you as many ideas for de-stressing in these different spheres as I can so that you have lots to choose from. But I will narrow it down when it comes to why these different practices work. Okay, so here's the plan, my friends. The wellness wheel is a lot to tackle all at once. So every day for the rest of the week, I have a video for you where we break it down together. The bonus is that we get to spend more time together that way, and also you have a little bit more time to kind of digest the pieces that we're talking about with the Wellness Wheel. And another bonus is that with 7 different videos, you'll get extra entries into the giveaway. What's that you say? But big sis, we didn't talk about the giveaway yet. It's true, we didn't. So it's this prize pack that I have for you right here, and I'm so excited. I legit already went through and filmed this section of the video with the prize pack, and then I found more pieces that I wanted to add to it that I thought would fit well with it. So it became a bigger prize, and I was forced to reshoot this piece of the video. Okay, so very simple to enter into the giveaway. There are 3 things that you need to do. Like this video, so give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you will know when there are updates on things and when I'm dropping new content, and we can stay connected better. And then the final thing is I will have a new question that goes with each video as I post it. Those pieces together will count as your entry. So like, subscribe, answer the question that goes with the video. Doing this for each of the 7 videos will give you extra entries. Obviously, you can only subscribe once and then you're subscribed. But after that, if you continue to like the videos that come up and you answer the question in the comment section that I give, then that will also count as extra entries for you towards the prize giveaway. The giveaway will close 1 week from the posting of the final video, the 7th video, and then I will announce the winner the Sunday following that. Your first question for this video as an entry into the giveaway is to name 1 thing that you really, really like about yourself. Since that was something we talked about in the video, and I think it's really valuable to be able to name things that you really like about yourself and love about yourself, I want to start stirring that thought for you. So in the comments section, please let me know, what do you like about yourself? Feel free to share this video with other people that you think would like to come along on the journey with us, learning about self-care and about themselves. You can find me on social media. On Instagram, my handle is big.sisser. So that's it, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.